Hi, welcome to Candy Shoppe Yarns, where everything is sugar-free and high in fiber. I am Deborah, your confectioner extraordinaire. I'm the owner of Candy Shoppe Yarns, and this is the ultimate destination for knitters and crochet enthusiasts. And I invite you to join in the community of crafters who have a sweet tooth for fun by hitting the subscribe button. So let's get started on today's episode. I have a lot of things around me and just a mountain everywhere I look because it has been a while. I will just kind of give you a little bit of what's been going on this month. I have a lot of projects, including some sewing, but I've got knitting and crochet, a little bit of sewing. I've got some fun mail, shop news, and a giveaway, and the giveaway will be at the very end. I have a lot of project bags that I talked about previously, a lot of project bags. I've got yarn, and I'm just combining some things together and just giving things away as often as I can, doing a giveaway. So that will be at the very end. So it is Friday, June 30th, 2023, and this is episode 14. June has been a busy month. When is it not a busy month? I don't know. It's always a busy month. But this one has been full of fun. Oh, I've got like a little piece of lint that just floated into my eye. After my last episode, I hosted a baby shower for my daughter Ella, who is having a baby any time now. She is due in a week and a half, which means she could have her baby today or she could have her baby in 4 weeks. Oh goodness, this is not going to work. What is going on? It's like I can see it, feel it, but can't get it. Okay, we're gonna have to take a break for a minute. Whew, hopefully I took care of that. It's one of the hazards of knitting, working with yarn and fibers. It's always in your nose, in your mouth, in your eye. But that's not a great way to start things off because now my eye is irritated. Okay, anyways, hosted a baby shower. It was a lot of fun. And I was really worried about the weather because typically, you know, by now it's hot and sunny and dry. And so my main concern would be for keeping people cool and shaded. But this time my concern was keeping people dry because it needed to be outdoors. I don't have a space big enough. So oh no, I see more fluff. Okay. I ended up purchasing I have several like pop-up canopies, like 10 by 10 canopies that just have a sun, you know, shade on the top. But I purchased a 10 by 20 one that has like walls that can go all the way around. And I also have other, what would they, pavilions. I was looking up what would it be called, a gazebo. Anyways, I have pavilions kind of in my backyard, and we added some like shades, roller shades that come down on two sides, but it's been most helpful this year for rain because it also blocks that. So I had plenty of space to keep people dry, and then it ended up not raining, which was great, and it actually got warm that day. It did rain after, so that was good that I got that anyways, because I'll use it plenty. And we decorated with a like adventure kind of theme, like maps, and I'm trying to remember. We had little hot air balloons that were made of the Japanese paper lanterns, the globes that like they're flat and then they open up. I had a friend that made those. They were so cute. And now I'm trying to find someone that is going to host a baby shower that lives near me that needs those to pass along. So we did that, and it was really fun. And I'm just looking forward any day now for Ella's baby. She and her husband are actually really sick right now with the flu, and it's been quite bad. So we just need to get them better quickly. So I've been trying to take food and drinks, electrolytes, just do what I can. But I'm also concerned about getting sick myself, because if I get sick, I won't be able to go help them when they're healthy and they have a baby. If they're sick, they're sick, and she'll have her baby regardless. So I'm just taking a lot of vitamin C and zinc and vitamin D, and just doing my best to help but keep enough of a distance. So after the baby shower the next week, then I hosted our annual knit night unbirthday party, which is always so fun. And it started out because we were trying to do a little celebration for everybody's birthday in our knitting group, and we discovered quickly that that was not sustainable because every month there were one or two. So it was difficult to do that. So we decided instead we would have once a year a celebration for everybody, and called it our unbirthday party. So I thought we'll make it Alice in Wonderland themed, which I love Alice in Wonderland. I don't know why. I like the movie well enough. I mean, I can't say it's my favorite movie. I just love Alice in Wonderland. The books, I don't know. I like the Disney movie, but also the images from it. The theming of it is fun. I just love it. I just love it. Then, let's see, it was Father's Day, and on Father's Day we were traveling because we took a family trip, our first one with just my youngest. I mean, I have 3 daughters, and I felt so guilty, like I was betraying my oldest daughter after she got married and moved out and we had our first vacation and she wasn't with us. I felt horrible, like I was this awful person. And I was like, this is part of life. You get married, you move on, start your own family, your own traditions, your own vacations. And then Ella moves out, and now it's just Nadia. And I thought, poor girl, it's just her. Some people would think, oh, this is great, because then she gets all the attention. But I think for her, she's like, now I get all my parents' attention. That's a bit much. It's okay when it's divided among 3 of us, but it was so great. We went to Northern California coastline to see the redwoods, and it was spectacular. It was better than I could have ever imagined it to be, and I wish we had more time. It has been on my bucket list to go there, I think since we got married, my husband and I, 24 years ago. How long ago was that? Anyways, so I'm glad that we finally did it, and now that we did it, I've put it back on my bucket list to go back because it was so amazing. We drove through the Jedediah Smith Scenic Road, and then there was a trail there. Well, there's quite a few, but there was one, I can't remember the name of the one we went to. It was beautiful. I think they all were beautiful everywhere. It doesn't matter where you stop, it would have been amazing. But that scenic drive was unbelievable. It was like I was in the Jurassic period. I tried to take some photos, nothing could really capture it. It was just incredible. And then we went to a place called Fern Canyon, where you kind of walk through this little river stream, and you're in this ravine. There's walls at both sides, and it's just ferns growing all on the whole thing. Ferns and little tiny waterfall of droplets coming down all over the place, and just it was once again unbelievable. We went to the Grove of Titans, We went on a hike to see, I think it was called the Big Tree. And then there was Cathedral of Trees, and that was kind of like a hike that went from one trail into another. Anyways, it was amazing. And we went to Ferndale and we stayed in Eureka, and both of those were like Victorian architectural towns. It was just really cute, fun. I loved it. So we got back from there. Let's see, Nadia got her license right before that, her driver's license. I highly recommend. 10 out of 10, I recommend all teenagers 16 years old should get their license. For their sanity and for yourself. So I am so glad she got it. She is so glad she got it, and I have not seen her since, other than our trip. The novelty wears off eventually, but like she got her license and 15 minutes later she was off. And we saw her when it was time for our trip, pretty much. And then when we got back from our trip, an hour later, she was gone again. She's like, enough of just you two. And she is now gone to our church's young women's camp, and she will be home later today. So I am alone a lot of the time. It's just me and Luna down here. Hi, Luna. So it's been busy, and I haven't really planned a whole lot of things, after this. There's always plenty on the calendar, but no big things because I want to be ready and available for Ella's delivery anytime. So let's get started. It's been a while. Let's talk about projects. At the unbirthday party, I'm going to show you. I got this cute, adorable box. So we do a gift exchange where everybody brings, we call it our favorite things gift exchange. So you bring something that you just really love, and then we wrap it up, and then we do a swap where we take turns picking a gift, and you can steal, you can swap, whatever. Anyways, so this box was in the package, and I have some things in here, some of my projects, and along with that was a birdhouse, but not just any birdhouse, the cutest birdhouse. Look at that. It's mermaid themed. Love it. And this is what I ended up getting. This was from Wendy, who is Solly Rocks on Instagram. And she actually, it's funny that I ended up picking this one because she said that she thought of me when she picked it out. So I want to get a post to place it. I don't want to hang it like from the top. I don't want to hang it from the back here. I want to put it on a post in the garden. So I'm going to show you a tag that came with it so you can see the brand. There's that. There we go. So I think these are this is very cute. And so in this package, in this box, I just set aside finished projects so I could share it with you. Okay, so I showed you last time a little Scandi Bear rattle, baby rattle I was making for Ella's baby shower for her gift. I had quite a few different things, but I wanted to have a cute little toy. So I made one. Turned out cute. I didn't get to show it to you finished, but it was so cute I made another one. Let's see, can you see that? I think it's adorable. Adorable. Oh, so cute. So yes, this was called Scandi Bear. I had information in the last one, so I'll have the names written or in the description box for the pattern. But I just made it exactly the same as the last one, but I did go down another needle size so that when I stuffed it, I mean, I still stuffed it and it still could grow to become a big ball marshmallow if I kept stuffing it, but I was able to stuff it a little bit more firmly than the last one and not have the stitches pull apart so far because I had a tighter gauge. It was quite a tight gauge for this size of yarn, but I think that's really what's best. But it's so cute. Did you get all your toys out? We're not playing right now. And once again, I love the sound of those little rattles. So cute. So I'm going to put this in my gift drawer. And then I've been working on socks. So did I show these last time? No, I didn't because I put them in this box to show. I've been working on, I have Felici sock yarn from one of my best friends who sent me a whole bunch that she had duplicates of. She had like 4 of all of them, and some of them she had like 3, so she'd send me, if she had 3, she kept 2 and sent me 1. So here is one of those where I got 1 ball of it, and I've just been working through that, cranking a sock tube and making them into socks. So this one, I ended up using 150-gram ball of yarn, and I ended up not using the whole thing because I wanted them to match. If I made long legs, you know, a lot longer legs, I could have done that if they didn't match, if they ended up being, you know, off like this. But I decided to make these match. So I did afterthought, cuffs, heels, and toes, and it gives it kind of this funny flap, but it fits just great. So I make these on my circular sock knitting machine. I made the tubes and then I went through after and added the cuffs, heels, and toes. And I'm doing it that way because then I can use up, like, I can use up all of the yarn without wasting it. When I mean wasting is that, like, to do a cuff on the sock knitting machine, I usually do a folded cuff, and it's called a hung hem cuff, and it uses a lot more yarn. So like I'd have this here and it would be folded in and connected here, and that could work great, but it uses twice as much yarn for just the cuff, and so then it's shorter, and I don't know how long I need it, this way I can do everything and then add in the heel after when I decide, like, how long do I want the foot to be. I don't have to decide that all beforehand. So this one, the colorway is Pinwheel for this, and the cuffs, heels, and toes is Dragon Fruit. Both are Felici. And I made these, I think I made these like a women's size 9. I'm kind of making them all close around there, between a 7.5 and like a 9, because that's kind of average for the people that I know. So I made that one, and then I shared last time how I made socks for my mother for Mother's Day, using just this beautiful treasured skein of yarn from my friend Crystal that she dyed, and it was on I'm trying to see, it's a gold stellina sock base, and I had enough left to make another pair, but a little shorter. So I did another afterthought everything. Is this gonna focus? There we go. Of course you can't see the sparkle barely. And I'm trying to remember if I made these a size 9. No, I made these like a size 7.5, 8, so I could get a longer leg. And the yarn that I used for the cuffs, heels, and toes was a mini skein from my sister Emily, Yarnberry Yarns. Come on, you can do it. Oh, it's because my eye. It's okay. I know I can focus somewhere. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. This camera is new, and I get the settings worked out, and then I do something to change it, and I don't know how to fix it. So every time it's like an adventure to try and use it. My friend Gaina Tells from Cuckoo Land, she has the same camera. Or let's see, did we get the same one? Mine is similar. Mine's a Sony oh, I forgot. I don't know. It's a Sony. And there are two versions of this. One is like the newer, one is a little bit older. I got one, she has the other. Which one? I don't know. And we're both having the same challenge. Okay, so I did a colorway that I thought was very similar to this one, just paler. So I thought it wouldn't be really high contrast. It looks more high contrast in the camera than it actually is. It's very similar, but I thought it would just be pretty to have it be like the same colors used in all of it, but just a little bit paler. So I had 3.5 grams left. I was worried doing cuffs, heels, and toes. It's common to run out and not be able to do a very long cuff if you do all three, but I realized when you do afterthought heels, that uses less than a heel flap and gusset, which I usually do. It uses less yarn. So it's good for me to realize I can do that and still have a plenty long cuff. I did 18 rounds for this one. I typically do 20, sometimes 22, but when I have a shorter leg, I think that that's just too much. So these are going in my gift drawer for Christmas time. Both of those pairs. And I did one more pair of socks that I've finished. So what is this from? Oh. Okay. Last time and the time before, can't remember. When I was hosting the Mermaid Mal, I wanted to make a pair of mermaid themed socks. So I had a sock pattern called Watercolor by Autumn Poppy Designs. And I thought this looked very mermaid-like because of the colorwork pattern. Kind of made me think of fish scales or shells. And I knit a sock and got through, I'm trying to remember, quite a ways down. I think I got down into here maybe, and then thought, oh, I better try this on, see how long I want it, and then I couldn't get it over my heel. Oh no, I made the color work too tight. So I pulled it all out and started it again. And I decided I was going to try a different, was I going to do a different technique? Well, no, the first time I was doing a different technique. I was trying to do it with magic loop and not with my 9-inch circulars. So I like to do 9-inch circulars for colorwork socks on the colorwork part, because then I don't ever worry about my floats when it's time to flip from the one side to the other, because if you have yarn that needs to carry around but it's on the inside, sometimes instead of wrapping around far enough, it like kind of cuts across and is too tight. And I thought, I'm going to try a trick with that, doing magic loop, try knitting it inside out so that the floats, instead of being on the inside, are on the outside, and that then you won't have that problem. And I also thought, well, when I do colorwork socks, like I really stretch out those stitches when I'm carrying my floats, and it ends up looking really loosey-goosey. You know, like the stitches aren't super neat and tidy, but the sock fits great. I thought, I'm going to clean that up a bit. Well, it was too tight. So the pattern does call for you to go up a needle size, which I did, or 2. I did what the pattern called for, but I didn't stretch those stitches out as far. So I had to rip it out, start again, and I didn't do as long of color work because I also noticed when it's longer, it doesn't seem to go over my heel anyways. Like if it's a shorter amount of color work, I can do that easier than when it's longer. So I went back, did it my regular way. This was for summer sock camp. I ended up doing this on my trip. I had this much done before I left on my trip. this much, and knit this whole sock and almost all of the other on my trip. And I really stretched those stitches out again on my 9-inch circular needle. It looked super loose and floppy, but now it looks beautiful. No problem. Look at that. So pretty. Love it, love it. And I talked about all of the colorways last time, but this main colorway is Sugar Lips. And you know, it was leftovers from a project, but I still had the majority of the yarn. I had like 80 grams. So I used 20 grams in something recently. Recently is in the last 6 to 8 months. But I can't for the life of me remember what. Like, what did I use it in? I don't remember. Now, I used Sugar Lips to knit a sweater for myself, but it was different base. So it wouldn't have been that. But oh, I just love those colors. The whole thing. I love it. But after knitting essentially 3 socks, I was so done with this project. So done. So over it. Like, just done. So I told you when we left on our trip, I thought we have so much driving to do. I'm gonna finish so many things. I'm gonna get these socks done, probably several other things done. Well, I got this much and this much down to here done on the trip. I didn't finish the whole thing because I just spent most of my time just staring out the window like with my jaw hanging open. It was just too amazing. Everything was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. So then I came home and finished the rest of the foot. So I made these size 9. I'm debating on if I'm going to keep them for myself or not though. Or if they're going to go in my gift drawer. We'll see. So that's all of my finished fibery knits and crochets. Well, that was just knitting. All of those projects that I had finished, but behind me I have some sewing that's finished. I will show you that after I go through all of my yarny projects. So things that I am working on. I have the next sock tube from the Felici sock yarn. This one is Cloudy with a Chance of Rainbows. So I showed this last time that I needed to figure out what color I wanted to use for the cuffs, heels, and toes on this one because I only had a couple of options. I had Bear yarn, I had a bright yellow, like mustardy yellow, and then I have this colorway. And I've used this one multiple times and didn't want to use it on all, on this one as well. And so I decided to wind off some of the Bear yarn and dye a colorway to go with this. So I wound off 22 or 23 grams. I don't know how much I'll need in this base to do all cuffs, heels, and toes, so I wanted to make sure I had enough. So I dyed colorway to match this, but I wanted it to be just a tiny bit more purple, which it is. So it turned out just right. So I can start that project next. Even though it doesn't qualify for summer sock camp because it is partially done on my knitting machine, I still have it in my summer sock camp tote. This is a bag that I got from Coco Knits, and then last year, and then I added the iron-on patch that they had last year for summer sock camp. I still have the sticker from that, but I haven't put it on anything because I'm not a really big water bottle. Oh, wait, do I have 2 stickers? I have 2 stickers. Didn't even know. I'm not a really big water bottle kind of sticker person. And like my daughters, well, at least Ella and Nadia are all about like the Stanley cups with the stickers on them. They work at soda shops. They love it. And they collect the stickers everywhere they go, and they put them all over, and they have quite a few of those. I have my one little, this is my drink thing. That's what I have. And I don't want to cover it up with stickers. I don't know. So I'm not sure what to do with these because I think they're so fun. I want to do something with them. I could put it in my knitting journal with the socks that I made from summer sock camp. That's something I could do with it. Yeah, I love all the stickers that I see all around, but I'm always wondering, like, what am I gonna do with it since I don't really do the water bottle thing? So that's something I could do with it. Okay, so I have that project ready to start. I just dyed that yarn yesterday or the day before. And now let me give you an update on my Aranami shawl turned into a cowl. This is another project from my mermaid Mal that I started but didn't finish beforehand. And I have joined it together now so that it is now in a tube. Let me get it lined up here. Okay, so it's now in a tube, and I have all but the last color added. So I was doing a gradient. It actually all started with this color. I don't want to pull this needle out. I had a little scrap of a colorway like this from somewhere that I thought, that is so pretty, but I wanted to have enough for a whole project. And so I dyed one similar to it. And then I thought, well, I need something on either side. And I liked the idea of peach. And so I did this kind of corally peach color. Everything looks a little bit more vibrant in the camera here right now. This one is a little more muted. It's a little more dusky, maybe. So I have the peach, and then I have this one that, when it's not next to the other ones, looks kind of rose gold. And then this orchidy color, and this lavender, and then I've got a dark one, a darker plum. And you can't even see the, oh, now you can see the difference there. So it started, this cowl started with this color, and I wanted that, but I didn't know what other colors I wanted. And then I had some lilac blooms from a bush, and they were so pretty that I dyed 3 lilac fade colorways. And I thought, well, that will go perfectly with the other 2 that I want to use in my cowl. It started out here. I thought, oh, well, that will go perfectly with it. So I added those together to make a 5-color gradient. And I actually have those going into my shop that I'll tell you about at the end. So this project, I'm just finishing you do two rows of these scallops. Okay, let's see. So you can see each scallop. There was my first row of this apricot-y peach color, and then here's the second, and then here's the first row of the next color, second row, first row of the third color, second row, first row of this color, and I'm working on the second row of them. And instead of just going out into a long triangle, I stopped shorter there and joined it together right here. So we had a point, and I could have just continued on adding outward, but instead I brought those ends together, and where they would overlap, I added in the next little scallop. And now it's joined together in the round, and the shape of it, it's higher in the back there and comes down lower in the front. And then for the next colorway, I'm not entirely sure, I haven't got to that point yet, but when it comes to picking up stitches here, I think you do short rows so that it levels this off, and then I can pick up stitches and just knit straight all the way around until I'm done. So I want to get this one done. This one will be a gift for Christmas for somebody in my family. I've got someone in mind for this one. I think this is so pretty. Oh, I think this is so pretty. Love that. So I was inspired to make that into a cowl by my friend Jules of So Sweet Violet, because she did that. And she did hers a little bit different, but seeing hers helped me to figure out how I could do it. So I accidentally knit one in the wrong spot. Hard to do, but I did it. And so I had to rip that out, and I didn't want to use that yarn again, because if my gauge was just slightly off and it was too loose, then I would have to, you know, weave in a little end, you know, a little bit extra. But it helped me to be able to measure out exactly how much I used, and it was 2.5 grams per little scallop. So I've got that little bit there, and that was good. So if you want to make this, that's what my gauge gave me, was 2.5 grams per scallop. Okay, because that would be a really great scrappy project. Like if you wanted them to all be different, you know, like rainbow fish. Like every one of those could be different. I've seen some where they used speckled yarn, gradient, or not gradient, speckled, variegated. I really always tend to gravitate towards things like that, but seeing the finished objects, the ones that I always liked the best were ones where they were solid. So yeah, that was my observation, because it just looked more clean and you could actually see what was going on really well. So I personally would not do speckled or gradients. It might be nice, like if it was speckled, if it was like every other colorway, like one colorway was a solid and the next one speckled and the next one, that might work. I mean, everybody can do whatever they want, but that was my opinion on it. Okay, my next project. This was something that I brought to work on our trip, and I did do part of it on the trip, but not very much. When I needed a break from knitting, I switched to crochet, and I am working on the cutest little fox. Is he not the cutest? Oh. Hain-chan. I'm trying to see who the designer is. I purchased this pattern on Etsy, and I have quite a few of their patterns, all in the same series. Let's see, do they have, I don't have all of them, but I have a couple, because I think they even have more. Aren't those so cute? Oh my goodness. So I went out to my stash of cotton yarns, which I have shared on here before, where I'm like, I have got all the cotton that I need. I will have all the colors. If I want to make anything, I can make it. And I went out to find color for this body for the fox. And went, do I not have anything? Thankfully, oh, down at the bottom, I found one. This one is, I'm trying to find my tag so I can show you what colorway it was. Okay, Paint Box Cotton DK, and the color, no, that's not the colorway. Is this the, what? This is Vintage Pink. That's the, that was one my daughter was using. That's not even the right label. Well, now I don't even know. I don't even know. I thought it was Rust something. Well, it was Paint Box Cotton DK, I think. And look at this. Is that not so cute? Okay, his little snout has some problems, but don't we all? Oh, and his cheeks are slightly... Well, he looks fine when I look at him like this, but in the camera, he doesn't look right. He doesn't look right. He looks a little... I don't know. Anyways, his snout is slightly twisted, but sewing that on was... That was hard. I was not about to unpick that and do it again because it was miraculous that I got it on there in the first place, because I was trying to hold too many things in places. Like I had the ends tucked in and I had some stuffing in there, and I was trying to keep it so that it was like between the eyes evenly spaced, and I had an end of this rust color, an end of this white, like creamy white color, and I needed to use the white one for this half and the rust one for this half, and I had to keep them out of the way while I was working. And anyways, I was thankful to get that on. All of these pieces, I will say, were a challenge for me. This was a real challenge because working with cotton yarn, first of all, is really tiresome on my hands, but it works so well for amigurumi because it doesn't stretch out of proportion when you're stuffing it, like I was showing you with the knit bear that I made. Crochet holds its shape better, but also cotton really holds its shape. So it's really hard on my hands, and then it's a tight gauge, and then small pieces and changing colors, especially when it came to the face here, because I had never done this before, where you crochet over one strand all the way across. So when I was working on the white part, I was crocheting over the rust color, and then I got here and would change colors and then crochet over the white until I got here, and then you'd switch and go all the way around. And then trying to do that with the nose, this little tiny thing. But in the end, he's so cute that it makes it worth it. So here's the head, and I was thinking, I do not have enough yarn. I only had is this a 50 gram or a 25 gram ball? It's a 50 gram ball. I thought, I don't have enough to do this whole body. There's no way. If the head is this big, but then the body is this big, body's this little tiny thing, that does not look proportional. But we've got that, and I've got one leg. Yep, that'll work. That's gonna work. It'd be so cute. Oh, so I need to do the other leg and the two arms, but the challenge I have is you work with this dark black, and it is so hard to see even in the daylight. So if it is not super bright, there is no chance, and I don't always have time in the day. So I've got my old lady light. It's the only way I was able to do this foot. So I need to get the other ones done. And then he has cute little shorts overall, like shorts with suspenders. So I'm gonna do those with this blue. The pattern, that looks a lot brighter. It's a more muted grayish blue. The pattern, like looking at the front of the photo, it looks like a gray, but I wanted to do a blue. So, and then that, I've decided I'm going to have a bin of amigurumi toys, or, you know, crocheted and knit that I have made for grandchildren to play with. But crochet would be the best. That'd be a little more sturdy, I think, if they're made out of cotton. So that's what I'm working on, is making a whole bunch of fun little things like that. I've got my little Miss Pumpkinhead jack-o'-lantern from last Halloween made, and I have Duck Girl. Yes, Duck Girl I made as well. So I've got those two, but I just think that would be so fun to have a bin of those, that when you come over and see Grandma, to have those to play with. And I think that's all the projects that I am currently working on. I'm just working on the fox and the shawl. And once I finish those two, I'll do this sock, and I'm working on my fragmentation shawl. I've done one more wedge, but I want to finish these up so I can then just heavily focus on the shawl. I'd like to do a lot more socks for summer sock camp, but I don't need socks, but I really want to finish these other projects. But I like the participation aspect of it. It's just fun. So I'm kind of participating in my own way with using my sock knitting machine, but I don't really ever enter for prizes, so it doesn't really matter. I can participate in whatever way I choose, huh? So can you. So let's talk about right here. My daughter is going to be going on Trek. So that is our heritage here in Utah. Utah, really the state, was founded by pioneers from members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And there were a lot of hardships for them to get here, and some of them to cross the plains would come in with hand carts. Instead of in these big wagons, they had little hand carts for their supplies, and they would pull the hand carts to get across, and that was for like the more poorer immigrants. And so we have this kind of reenactment that you can participate in that's, you know, just really inspiring to help you connect with your ancestry and with the history of the state, and to kind of see what it would have been like to have been a pioneer and to go through some of those challenges. So part of that means that they need pioneer clothing. And so my daughter is going to be participating in that at the end of July. And she needs to have 2 skirts or dresses, bloomers, apron, blouses, bonnet. There's a list of things that they need. So in preparation for this years ago, because all of my daughters were going to participate in this and then it got canceled for one reason or another, I purchased a lot of fabric thinking I'm going to need to make a lot of pioneer clothes. Oh, okay, let's see. I was at Savers one day and they had so many calicos there for such a great price right before I was gonna have to start making pioneer clothes for my oldest daughter, and I thought this is perfect timing. So I bought them. See, here we go. Here's some of the stack. This is one I've already used. This is one Gaina wants. Got a yellow, a gold, anyways. And then I ended up not needing to make Pioneer clothes for years. And they just sat there, taking up space. And now I'm making some, but I don't need most of these still, I've found. So I started off making a skirt. I used this pattern by Butterick to make this skirt pattern. I didn't add pockets. I always add pockets, but I didn't because they need an apron with large pockets. And so, right, here we go, apron. So if that's the case, then they wouldn't be able to access the pockets underneath. So I didn't put pockets in, and I used this fabric, which Nadia loves, and she loves the skirt. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna wear this afterwards. And I said, I don't know if you will, because it's gonna get pretty tattered and beat up and filthy. And I don't know if we'll be able to get it clean. And she says, well, if we can manage any of it, and at least, you know, if we can cut off the bottom and make it shorter, like knee length or something, you know, she loves it. So I will show you that in a minute. And then I went also to the thrift store and bought a button-up shirt, and it looks so cute with that fabric. And then I made an apron. Now most of the time they'll just wear like a half apron, but I thought it would be nice to have one that goes over your shoulders so you don't have a whole bunch on your waist and the weight of everything, like pockets and stuff on your waist. Instead it just hangs from the whole body. And then it doesn't have to be tight here either, because when you're really hot, having a lot on your waist, like you've got bloomers underneath, and then you've got the skirt waistband, and then the shirt tucked into it. And I thought, then if you also have the apron, that's just a lot in one spot. So I thought we'll make a full apron. And she was so excited about this. When she saw it, well, I was going to make it out of this print, because I thought this one, first of all, I had this fabric for Pioneer things. And I thought this would hide kind of more dirt. But she asked if I would make it out of muslin because she wanted it to be plain. And I thought, well, it's gonna get really filthy. But she saw this and was like in heaven. She's like twirling around, so excited about it. It's her apron of her cottagecore dreams. So I said, well, I don't know how it's gonna look afterward, but if I can get it clean enough, she is gonna be wearing that all the time. She is so excited about that apron. So I'm going to bring over this mannequin and we'll undress her. So let me move my chair. Here's the back. I didn't use a pattern. I just held measuring tape up and pieces, and actually this was a scrap on the front, and I used the scrap first and then added other pieces to fill in so I could just use every bit up. So let me see. I was going to cut a rectangle out and just do a rectangle skirt, but that uses more fabric and puts a lot more bulk here. So I actually had a long rectangle and then did wedges like this. So that you used all of that rectangle up, but the top, then you end up flipping. I'm gonna draw a picture. I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. I have a piece of paper here and I have a pen so I can show you. Okay, that's kind of a poor demonstration, but I cut wedges like this that are all the same shape and size. And then you take, you know, each wedge is a little bit wider on this part than I'm showing. Like this looks like it comes to a point, but it doesn't. It's more like this. So you flip them all so that the narrow point is up towards the top, and you sew those together, and then you end up with a piece that flares out like this on the bottom and is narrower on the top. And then I still gathered that together because that's pretty. It's still wider than the waist, but then it will give you plenty of movement on the bottom, and it uses less fabric that way in order to get gathers up here, to get enough width on the bottom. It uses less fabric that way, so it just is flattering. And then I put large patch pockets on, and I did a waistband, and I sewed the skirt into the waistband, and then the top I just put on the back side. So I'll show it to you. So I showed you the back. I'm going to untie and take it off. It doesn't fit me very well. It fits Nadia perfectly. It's a little too small for me. And there's the cute skirt. Okay, let me show you the inside on the back. So the straps, I just made long straps and had her hold up the Pinafore front in place where we wanted it, and then I just pinned the straps into place and cut off the excess and sewed it down. And you can see where I had to sew in an extra piece of fabric because I wanted to use up every bit, but I think it actually makes it look really cute to have like a band on the top and pieced there. Okay, the inside. This is the inside. So here is where I sewed the bib front on to the inside. No, don't squeak your toy, Luna. And I just cut off the excess, serged it, and stitched it down. Come here, girl. Let's not play with the toys right now. At least not the squeaky toys. You want to go get a different one? Where's my phone? I need to take a picture of how she looks right now. She's so cute. Luna, you're cute, but you're annoying. But I don't know where my phone went. Oh, it's way over there. Okay. This is hard to show on here, especially because it's all so pale and it's hard to see detail. But I've got it quite long. I will hem it when I know how long when she's here to try it on and I can measure. So this is the skirt that I made, and this skirt, if I remember, is a little bit similar in construction, I think, where you have pieces that flare out like this. They're much wider, but that way you have more volume on the bottom and not all the volume up here, because if you just do rectangles and gather that in, you can end up with a lot of bulk right here. In order to get the volume you want on the bottom. And then it just has a simple waistband and a zipper with a hook and eye closure on the top. And this skirt she absolutely loves. So I'm going to hem it. It's very long right now. I need to cut it and hem it. And then when she comes back, we'll see how it fares and how much we need to cut off in order for it to be usable. And then I might, oh, this is the other reason I didn't add pockets, because it doesn't have side seams. It has 3 pieces, a front, wait, no, it has more than that, but it has a front pant piece that comes to here, like in the front, and then side pieces that wrap around. So there's nowhere to put a pocket there. I could put one, but it'd be in the front, like right here. That's awkward. So no pockets in this one. And then she loved this top, and they look so cute together. So cute together. So we have that, and then you need bloomers. And typically you'd make those with white or muslin, which is inexpensive, but I want to use the things that I have, things that I got from the thrift store, and I had a lot of fabric. Also, white or muslin would end up, like, the bloomers will get the most filthy, just so dirty. So one of the fabrics I noticed from the thrift store was kind of faded, like really faded along the seams. So I thought I'm going to use that fabric because it's going to be underneath the skirts. You won't even see it. And it will get so filthy and then I won't feel bad if we don't use it again. Look at the fading. You can see there. That's one reason why you don't want to store your fabric folded for years like this in the same position, especially if sunlight hits it, because you end up with that. Same thing with your quilts. Like you should refold your quilts in different positions, different places. Don't store it in sunlight. I use my quilts a lot all the time, and I actually roll mine. Like I fold them in half, sometimes in half again, and roll them up, and then I stand them up, and I have like a basket. That's where I keep some of mine. So anyways, we've got yellow bloomers, and then I needed to make another skirt, do a top. And then I remembered I already had a pioneer dress that I made for myself years ago with this pattern. Let's see, will it focus here? I made this one. I thought, I wonder if it will fit her because I was quite tiny at the time. And so let me move it over. Here is the dress, and it did fit her. It was a little bit big, which was good because then it won't be too tight and restrictive as she's moving, and she loves it, and she loves it with the apron. She likes it with the bloomers. I was worried because for me, these sleeves, they're fitted, like they have darts and they kind of bend like your elbow here, and it was a little bit restrictive for me. So I was worried when she put it on that it would be like that for her, but because it's a little bit loose, it fit her really well and was not restrictive at all. She really likes this dress a lot. So we've got a pioneer dress. It's got this princess waist seam detail here and a little trim here. Once again, I have to hem the bottom because it's very long and they need it to come up like, you know, a little bit higher, not down to your ankles, because with all the work pulling hand carts, you'd step on it and trip and fall. So it needs to be high enough that you're not going to do that. So I've made that. I just need to make one more pair of bloomers, and I don't need all the rest of this fabric. So Gaina, I think this could be headed your way. I just need to make one more pair of bloomers and that's it. I'm gonna see if there are other people that need fabric going in order to make some things here. I was going to, for making this apron, I was going to use this pattern. Let's see, this is Butterick 5509, and I was going to do option D, but it's empire waist, and we wanted it to come down. Come on, you can focus. There's something I'm supposed to push here for it to focus. Let me see if this works. Aha, it worked. Okay, it's going to make option D, but we needed the waist lower. And then I saw that the back, let's see, I'm gonna try. Where is it? Right here. The back covered a lot more, and I would need to adjust it because I wouldn't want it to cover the whole back because of heat. I wanted it to just be thinner, and I thought by the time I make all these alterations, I might as well just make my own. So I did. I'm glad she likes it. So that's all of my projects. It's been busy, even though I've made a lot of things, surprisingly. I didn't think I had, even though it's been such a busy month. Okay, to put this on a mannequin is a little easier. Here we go. See, you look good. You look good. Okay, what is that? You look sensational. Let's put you aside. Okay. Nope, not in the right spot. Not in the right spot here. I'm on the squeaky spot. I live in a house built in 1952 and all the floors squeak. Just depends on where you are. I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me, but I notice it every now and again. Like when I sat down here, I had to move my chair because if I was over just a little bit, every time I moved. Which that worked really well, trying to get kids to sleep. If you get on a squeaky spot and you just rock back and forth and you have that squeaky noise, they love it. Puts them right to sleep. So, what was next? I gotta go back to my notes here. Oh, fun mail. Oh yes, this is exciting. I have been waiting for Nadia, but she is busy. I was gonna do a video with Nadia where we open up this box together and we try all of the things in the box, but alas, she is a little social butterfly and I'm glad about that. And she's working, there's the fire truck. Well, it's the ambulance, but they're from the fire station right across the street from me. She's busy working and doing all sorts of fun things, so I'm glad. So my friend Jules from So Sweet Violet sent me a box full of goodies from England. She asked, what do I want to try? And I said, I don't even know what's there, but I like things that are gluten-free and dairy-free so I can eat them, and things that are cute. So I'll show you what she sent me. I was going to try them on here, but I am not about to eat with my mouth appliance in front of anybody. I take the jaw appliance out to record these videos, which I have no problem wearing it and I speak just fine in it, but it does give me a bit more of what I call mushy mouth, like my language is not as crisp and clear. Oh, you found another squeaker. Luna. No, no more squeakers. What was that? I don't know. Anyways, so I will try these off camera, but she sent me this one, and this is one I'm really excited to try. Ooh, I'm really excited to try this one. I just realized this one has, is this one has malt in it? No, it doesn't have malt. Oh, I was thinking Lindt chocolate. They have a dairy-free chocolate bar, but it has malt in it, so it's not gluten-free. Thankfully, I have actually done all right with small amounts lately of that, and small amounts if there's a little bit of egg in something once in a while. So that's good. I'm very happy. Okay, the next thing she sent, Fab Flamingos. Oh my word, I'm so excited about these. I'm gonna use these today for pictures. This is the other reason why I like cute things, because I use them in photos. So she sent me that one. Quite a few gummies. Tasty Mates Pear Crumble flavor. Another Tasty Mates Very Berry flavor. This one is fun. Percy Pig. These are all things that we don't have here unless you go to a special shop that has international foods. And then this, I love this one. Look at that. This is so perfect for me. I love it so much. Okay. Inside there are all sorts of cute things. So these are perfect for photos. Some of these things I could try, other things my kids could try, but really the whole point of these is they're cute. Cute packaging. Like, look at how cute that package is. Oh. We have things. Oh, this one's a little different. I was gonna say we have things like this. We used to call them, what did we call them? I think they call them Lickum sticks now, or they used to be called that and something else now here. But this one, it's where you have like this candy stick, all of you know, and then you lick it and dip it in and into a powder. Well, this one is a fizzy powder. That's fun. There's 2 of these rainbow drops. Candy Watch. Fizz Whiz, which I'm assuming is like our Pop Rocks here. Drumstick. This is cute. Bubblegum strips. Oh, so cute. I love these for photos. I love these. Wham Original Refreshers. Fine Roller Fizz. I gotta push the button again. Maybe. I gotta learn this. Okay, these are fun. These are whistle candies. Now, it has a little thing that you blow into the whistle, and then a candy on the bottom. Tell me if you remember this. When I was young, I remember these, but this kind of hard candy in the shape of a whistle. The whole thing. The whole thing was a whistle. And then this one is a little called it lipstick. So same thing, just not a whistle. And then there's various little tiny things. This one's cute, golf balls. Anyways, that just made my day. Oh, so adorable, that box of delights. Gotta put everything back in. I think my favorite out of these for photos is this one and this. I think that's cute, this whole box. And then to taste, I'm really excited to taste this one. Well, this also is adorable, but I'm excited to taste this one and the gummies, and those will be so cute for photos. But this chocolate bar, I love chocolate. So that was such a fun package to open. Oh, I love to see anything cute and sweets from around the world. I like to try things, all international foods and dishes. The problem is, I feel like it's really unfair that I'm not able to eat them all, because I love to try new flavors. That's something I really enjoy. So I'm going to try a little bit of these each day. Okay. It is time for shop news. Okay, who is excited for the Barbie movie that's coming out in 3 weeks? I am just beyond excited. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Yeah. I have watched all the previews multiple times. There is a behind the scenes video about the set. Oh my word. Life-size Barbie houses. They better keep that set open for people to come in and tour. I mean, how fun would that be? I would be there. That would be a destination for me to go to the Barbie set. Yes. Okay, so I'm excited, to say the least. And because of that, I have restocked my Glitz and Glam Barbie collection. And as a refresher, here is a little video showing you all of those. Okay, so not every single one has been restocked. Most of them have, but I'm working on getting all of them restocked. And they can be ordered. Like if you want one on a different base, you can always just contact me, and I have a lot of different bases, different weights. Then I was at TJ Maxx with my daughter, and Nadia is the worst to shop with because we have to get everything. Like if I go with somebody else, they'd be like, be reasonable. Do you really need that? But Nadia and I are both like arms piled high, like we need everything. And I finally am like, I don't need any of this, but I do need one thing. And what it was a pink flamingo tiered wicker serving tray. So I could put yarn in it, because I wanted to dye a pool party collection. So I have my pink flamingo tiered tray with some yarn in it, and I'm gonna show you the yarn. I bought it just so I could put yarn in it. Isn't that? I ended up using this in my Alice in Wonderland and birthday party because it fits perfectly with pink flamingos. Okay, so let me show you the colorways that I have. So what it is I've done 3 sock sets because I figured socks are perfect for knitting in the summertime. It's not a big heavy garment or blanket, and you can just do really fun, crazy colors. So that's what I've done. Let me show you all 3. Let me hold them up together. Oh, that's just a lot of color. Okay, let's start right here. We've got Splish Splash. And 2 colorful 20-gram minis. And this is on my Simple Syrup sock base, which is 400 yards to 100 grams, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and then 2 20-gram minis on the same base. Love that with this just beautiful melon orangey color and some turquoise and chartreuse, just fun colors, Okay, and then the next one here is Floaty Fun, because you know, all of those fun pool floaties that you can just relax on. We've got this really fun popping purple and magentas with pops, speckles of turquoise, and then 2 20-gram minis. Then we've got, this one is my favorite, Poolside Paradise. I love this one. This one I have designed to micro stripe with this pink and aqua blue, and then it's divided by these fun pops of yellow and orange, and then of course 2 20-gram minis, so you can make sure you have plenty of yarn to do your cuffs, heels, and toes, and any little design elements you might want to throw in there. And while I was dyeing those and doing the minis, and the minis were hanging up to dry, I thought those look so fun together. Those minis are just so fun. So I decided to do just the minis. So if you are a mini fanatic like I am, these are just the minis from the pool party collection from the socks. So you can see we've got the purple and the yellow in there. We've got the orange and the blue, and we've got the green and the pinks. Those would make some fun socks right there, or just to add into your projects as you're doing that with your minis. I just love minis. That was the foundation for my whole business, were mini skeins, and I call them gumball minis. Initially my plan was, it was a great plan, was that every mini skein, I would sell them individually so you can mix and match, you know, like the pick and mix candy bins. So you can mix and match whatever colors you want, but I would wind all of them into a ball so they would look like a gumball. That lasted about 10 minutes. I went, there's no way I'm going to be able to wind hundreds, thousands of these. I thought it would go faster than it did. So that did not last, but I loved the name Gumball Minis and it stuck. So with any order of those poolside or pool party colorways, any order that that I get for that, I have stickers. We were just talking about stickers, how much I love them, but I don't know what to do with them. Well, these I made slightly smaller than a lot of the other ones for that reason, because I feel like sometimes they're so big, they cover the whole thing. So I didn't make mine as large. So we have, I want to focus. Maybe, I think I pushed the wrong thing. Pool party sticker. And another one that says summer vibes. I'm gonna try again. No, I'm doing the wrong thing. I don't even know what I'm doing. Summer vibes. Let's try. We'll try this trick. Oh, it doesn't want to work. Okay, summer vibes. I love it. It has a beach umbrella and a tropical leaf and flowers and watermelon and a coconut drink. And this one has, of course, the pool floaty that's a pink flamingo in a pool. So you'll get one of those stickers if you order any of my pool party yarns. So then I mentioned, oh, let's put this aside. I mentioned my mermaid cowl that I had created a 5-color fade, and I've done just that. Oh, and then I just dropped it all, so I'm gonna have to pick it up. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Here's my 5-color fade, and this one I have named Blushing Lilac. Blushing Lilacs, this collection. I had it sitting on this and I thought actually might be helpful to hold them up in place because I was dropping them. Kind of helps. So we'll start on this end. This one is Velvet Plum. This one is Lilac Haze. This one is Orchid Glow. This one is Rosy Dawn. And this one is Gilded Petals. So I'm going to be selling these all together, all 5 skeins together, and they are on fingering weight gold stellina sock yarn. Oh, you can't see the sparkle on these. It's gold sparkle, just shimmer. Like, oh, on this one, that's gorgeous. On Rosy Dawn, gorgeous. So I have, I'm trying to remember how many of those I have. I have a handful of those, not a ton. But of course I can restock. And then last summer, for summer sock camp, I knit a pair of scrappy patriotic socks with all my red, white, and blue scraps. And I used my Lucky Star sock pattern so I could put a star on the heel of the socks. And they were such a hit and people wanted kits for it. Well, it was just scraps that I had laying around. So I dyed a whole bunch of 20-gram minis in red, white, and blues, and so people could make their own scrappy socks and pick what they wanted, mix and match. Well, they were a huge hit, so I have a bin of them again. So I've got, let me show you in the reds, I've got Sour Cherry Fizz, I have Cherry Cola, Cinnamon Bears. These are different reds. Of course, it doesn't want to show very well on here. This is a bit more of a deeper maroony, and this one is more of a bright, vibrant, true red. And then I've got Strawberry. So there's my reds. And then I have a white, which is my Jawbreaker colorway. And then I have the blues, where I did Almond Joy, Sweet Dreams, Huckleberry, and then I did a solid blue, Practically Perfect, which is a Mary Poppins reference. And then for if you wanted to do what I did and do a star on the heel, or just add in a pop of something else, I did a golden color, which is my honeycomb, but I'm calling this one honeycomb, oh, I think I'm just going to call it honeycomb updated, because the dyes that I used for this one I had not been able to get for 2.5 years. 2.5. So I never dyed it, and then I finally found an alternative to it and re-dyed it, but it changing the formula means that the color will be slightly different. So if you've purchased my honeycomb before, then this won't be a precise match, but very close. So then we've got a gold, because of course you've got to have a gold to mix in there, I think. So red, whites, and blues, patriotic gumball minis that you can mix and match. Get all of them, get just a couple of them, just get one of them. Let's put these back where they came from. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Okay. That's going to be a shop update, and I'm going to do that tomorrow on Saturday, July 1st. Is that the 1st? 1st? 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Yes, 1st, because the 4th of July is Tuesday. So that would make tomorrow the 1st. I don't have a specific time. I usually do it in the morning, 9-ish, 10. I don't do an exact time, because if I say an exact time, it's on Etsy and I'll post it, but Etsy will take its time and list things willy-nilly as it likes. Like, I can see it on my end, but customer can't always see it for some time. Sometimes it takes 30 seconds, sometimes it takes 10 minutes. And it won't always be the same for every listing. I don't understand why it does that. It's fine. So that's why I don't have an exact time, because people will be like waiting and refreshing their page and, oh, there it is. And they'll be disappointed because they don't see it. And I don't want you to be disappointed and frustrated, but it will be there tomorrow. With all of those things, I've got a couple of other colorways that I've just added a few extras here and there. But those are the big ones. So let's move on to the very last thing, which is the giveaway. For the giveaway, I have this project bag that I made. A drawstring bag. It is lined with this green, with the sunshine through. It makes it hard to see. Let's see if I can block the sun shining through. Just has this fun print on the inside, and it has 2 pockets in there. It's a nice size for like shawls. And I have this skein of yarn, and I just call anything that is a non-repeatable colorway Mystery Confection. And I thought it looked really pretty with this bag. So for this giveaway, I'm going to tell you, I just bought, oh no, what's wrong? Something's sticking. What's sticky on my table? You don't want sticky and yarn together. That's not a good combination. I bought this while I was on my trip. Delve Deck by Boardwalk. I actually bought it online from Boardwalk, but I was on my trip and bought it online. And this one is conversation starters. So we're going to pick a conversation starter here, and you can answer. Let's see. Ooh, this one. I'm going to do this one. Let's see. Sometimes, though, it's hard when you pick one of these and I have to think about them forever. And then I can't come up with one. So, like this one, I'd have to think about this one. What overused word are you tired of hearing? maybe I'd say the word like. I like, it's kind of like, no, that's not it. Anyways, I don't know. I don't hear that one quite as much as I used to. And I used to use it nonstop. I still use it, but not as much. Okay, here's the question. What do you wish would become fashionable again? I was thinking at first that it said, what article of clothing do you wish would become fashionable again? But it doesn't. It's just anything. Visiting your neighbors. Like getting to know your neighbors. Like that, I don't know that that was fashionable. It was popular. Oh, wearing fabulous hats. It is not fashionable now, but that's not true. It's becoming more fashionable, but they're just very different hats. I don't feel like hats really suit me, but I think that a lot of people think that because we're not used to it. I try to wear them sometimes, and sometimes I feel ridiculous, but I still like them. One other thing that I wish would become fashionable again, clothing-wise, cloaks, capes, whatever, because they're so practical. Like, it's like a shawl that you drape around your shoulders, and then you can still have your hands free and do whatever, and it can completely enclose if you want, or have it more open if you need a little less warmth, but it could go all the way down to the floor. It could have a hood to keep your head warm. Like, it's not restrictive. Coats, I feel so claustrophobic wearing a coat. And so a cloak, it solves that. You can still be warm. You can have use of I could be knitting underneath the cloak and nobody would even know. Like, how great. Yeah, I think it depends though, because it might look a little, well, it just looks cosplay. But if you could make it more mainstream. No capes. Name that movie. Okay, so answer the question. What do you wish would become fashionable again? Doesn't have to be clothing, it could be just something. And to be entered to win this, but then you have to check back on the next episode because that's where I will announce it. I have a prize still unclaimed from something else that I'm waiting, and if they don't claim that by the next time, I will pick a new winner and let you know. So thank you for joining me. This was probably a long one. I have no idea because I was just looking to see if it would tell me how long I was recording. But I forgot I've started and stopped this multiple times that I have no idea. But it's been a while. I've had the best time this month and I have loved visiting with you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. So thank you very much for subscribing and for commenting and watching every time. Have a good day.